I'd never seen anything in an older woman that interested me in terms of dating or relationships that I wanted or liked. I know that some of you who are watching this simply cannot get enough of them, but for the life of me, I cannot fathom why a man would want a woman in her late 30s, 40s, or 50s. If you want to have children with your partner, you'll probably have to go through in vitro fertilization, which can cost a ton of money when you could easily impregnate a young woman. Do you see where I'm coming from? If you just wanted someone to pleasure you and bust gallons, I'd agree that they'd be great. I get it, but I see men out here shacking up with women like that, or a guy in his 50s dating a woman in her 30s, that makes sense to me. But men in their 20s and 30s are dating women in their late 30s to mid 50s, and that makes no sense to me in here. I'm wondering what the hell is wrong with these guys, and then to make matters worse, you get shamed by society for not dating who exes aren't. I've never buried salami in a grandmother. My preference is not for older women, but I have lived with them. I would never want to wake up next to an older CXX every day. When I see young and middle-aged men gravitating toward older women, I wonder if they are going through a difficult time or are oblivious to the trap. They either have a fetish, are financially desperate, or are unable to commit. People around you will always want to see women in the best possible condition, even at the expense of men. The government is also aware that women need support. The recent student loan bailout is a prime example of the fact that women are unable to make it on their own, no matter how tough and self-reliant they may appear to others. Society does not look down on or punish these types of women simply because they need help from other people. If this does not happen, they will end up living on the streets or becoming more dependent on the system. Since there are more women than men, women tend to stick together and encourage other women to lobby men to support them if they are financially dependent on a man but are a lesbian. When an older woman dates a younger man, everyone around her applauds and encourages her to continue doing so. Even though most people are aware that this is not acceptable behavior for a woman unless she is extremely wealthy. Because most women are terrible with money, you must accept the fact that she will require financial assistance later in life. We can all agree that there is no such thing as a powerful and independent woman, and the student loan bailout is an example. There was never a time when women needed men or someone to help them get by and support themselves. Unfortunately, number 2, modern science has lengthened the amount of time that women can continue to be suitable mates. If a woman looks elderly, no one will be concerned if she is dating or involved in a relationship. If you want the women they're attempting to appear like, they'll embarrass you as an older man. If you go against the grain and want the women these women are trying to look like, they'll shame you. It's a competition between women and men to find a partner, so women will use whatever strategies necessary to hit a man. Even if that means shaming him into dating them rather than younger women. Men don't have to compete for a companion, therefore if it means taking a man from a young woman, they will. As long as women can keep a youthful appearance and compete with younger women, men will never cease dating leftover women. Keep in mind that older men have the money and resources in society, so if all the single older men with money date young women, who would pick up all the divorced leftover women back on the marketplace, or all the so-called strong and independent women who never prioritized relationships and are now single and struggling? This is because there are not enough men in America for each woman. They have to come up with a strategy to prevent their limited supply of men from entering the market filled with younger women, and they have found that shame is effective in accomplishing this goal. Because of this, you'll often hear people say things like, "She's young enough to be your daughter," or "You're a pervert for wanting a 22-year-old woman. You're metaphase and a graphist, so why would you date a younger woman? She'll only take advantage of your financial resources," as if this were something that not all women, including older women, are capable of doing. Men are chastised for not dating leftover women because leftover women are not appealing as a long-term spouse, a mother to their children, or arm candy. And most have nothing more to offer than baggage children from other men's deaths. Mental diseases provide people the opportunity to not have children without current science and history, with all of the digging sticks they learned in their early years. These behaviors are what most males get out of their relationships with women. If men knew they were getting a bad deal, they wouldn't choose leftover women as partners. Men who choose leftover women are getting the worst version of these women because society sells the dream that these women are still valuable. If society sells the dream that these women are still valuable, then someone will snatch them up because other men got them when they were at their peak, and you're getting her when she's on the decline. See what I mean? And some already have kids from other men that you'll probably have to help out depending on how old they are, or if their mother still lives with them, that gets an L. In my book So Realistically, if most men could look at older women objectively, see their actual value, and realize they're getting a bad deal, then most men would not date older women. This is why shame is used. Society relies heavily on control mechanisms to keep men in check and prevent them from thinking clearly. I want you to understand that women have no power over men, and the only men who will fall for the same trap that people have set to keep mandating older women. Until those men stop caring what other women think of them, are the ones who care what other women in society think of them. But it is what it is, and I just want you guys to undo it.